describe each character's personality in the quote? Michael?
I think the quote can be taken pretty literally. More or less every noted character in the book so far can be represented by those words. You know, Daisy's being pursued by Gatsby, he's pursuing her. Tom's pursuing Myrtle. Myrtle's being pursued. And the only characters who really fit into tired and busy would be Myrtle's husband, who's constantly appearing to be tired, and Wolfsheim, who thus far seems very busy.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I took it literally. I didn't really try to relate it to the book. I just took like the meaning out of it. The pursuing, the busy and the tired, and everything. Like as if he was just making a general statement about the world and how people act, and that everyone's going after their desires, and when you're not, you're busy or tired. Angela?
I think that, like Michael, what you said, what you guys said, I took it literally, and I see that that is the key to success. That to have a drive and to always be busy. Because of that drive, you're going to be tired.
I think I agree with Angela a little bit too. Yeah, when you're so busy, you are tired. Yeah. Oh, do you guys don't agree? No. I do.
Alright, so I can't remember if anyone said it. There's a second part to the question. Alright, so our second question is, what does Jordan's story of Daisy's marriage reveal about Daisy? So, like thoughts, that characterization.
What does Jordan's story of Daisy, so that scene that me and Avish had, when I was speaking to him, what does that reveal about Daisy? It shows like a different side to her. Take a second to think. Okay, Demi?
Well, I think because I remember when I was reading, it's like she was in the bathtub or on the bed, and she was like screaming like, "I'm not gonna get married, I'm not gonna do this," basically. And then Jordan said that she saw her after her honeymoon, and she like wanted to leave Tom's side, so it shows that like she kind of sucked it up and like pretended she had no choice. Like she's like, it's over, it's done with, like I have to go into this now. Like people were pressuring her into the marriage, so she never really does what she wants, more like what society expects of her, I guess.
Also going off of that, you guys were saying something about how her family kind of made her do that too, so the societal pressure. And then in a little quote it said that she was also very popular and bubbly when she was younger, and then as she got younger, when the pressure of like getting married was going on, then she had to, I guess, like conform to that, even though maybe Tom wasn't like her ideal guy. Her parents made her do that stuff.
Do you think she's a reflection of women at that time?
Oh, definitely, because everyone, like, women were very subjected to what the men wanted them to do, I feel, and still sometimes in this day too. So, and especially with like, if the family of wealth were like, oh, you know, maybe Tom is wealthy too, let's marry her off and we don't really have to worry about her as much anymore. I feel like that's how it was in the olden times.
Not just like a man, like women were subjected to society and that they had a strong role that was expected of them. And you know, I guess less so now. Current, you had something to say?
Going off of what Dimitri said, maybe she's just very like emotional, unstable character. So like how he said, like she goes into the relationship, marriage, upset, in the bathtub crying, and then comes back all happy. Maybe it was sort of the same way with Gatsby. She didn't know how she felt with Gatsby, but then sort of when her feelings developed, and they developed quickly, obviously it sort of had the same effect. She was like saying how much she loved Gatsby, and it's just a coincidence. Maybe how that's her Fitzgerald made her scene, because after like the whole car accident scene, she like didn't care about it.
So she's shown us like a volatile character.
I think actually the carelessness that's come up once or twice, plus she's remarkably fickle. Like love to Daisy is not like how maybe we value love. You have to ask yourself that. How does somebody supposedly totally broken up about somebody else, crying with the note in her hand, the day before she's supposed to marry somebody else, go off and come back totally obsessed with the person she married, like that note situation never happened, and now Gatsby comes back for a second, and all of a sudden, the winds of change have come again. Amanda?
Even adding to that, we see how she is towards her daughter, and a mother and the daughter should have like a special relationship and should really care between each other. So I guess that's another example how she does it.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that like during the first group's performance, like I feel like the daughter was just a talking point for her, like, oh yeah, this happened, like this is something that's going on in my life, to kind of like maybe like make herself seem more interesting, like oh, she's with Tom and they're so happy, like it's kind of like a facade for like society to see and for everyone to like look at her and be like, oh look, she has everything, like look at that, and then like when she wants something to be a certain way, she'll have it a certain way, like it's whatever, like you said, she's very fickle about everything, like she's, her emotions just sway like very easily, and I think it's also like what she wants to be seen as at the moment.
Yeah, I think the group who goes next will be able to speak about that a little bit more specifically, the one that has the hotel scene, where everything kind of literally gets to a boiling point with the heat and everything else, and Tom and Gatsby have it out, and Daisy is in the middle of it, and it's a lot of that goes on moving forward. So, do you guys have another question?
Yeah. How does having a prestigious family and old wealth as opposed to acquiring new wealth affect the ethical makeup of each character in the text? So,
think about
like, what's the
work ethic.
So, like, yeah. So somebody who had their wealth given to them and somebody who acquired it themselves. Like, how does that impact?
Well, I think that Gatsby, so he's new wealth, he's still very humble and respects people even though they're not as wealthy as him, even though the world was looked down upon at that time. And I think that people that had old money feel like they're entitled to that money, they don't have to work for it, they are who they are, and that's why they deserve the money. And I think that's
I was thinking about that too, because in like I think it was the party scene where again the party at his house was very quiet. He didn't even say like, oh, this is my home, like this mansion is for me. He was kind of just another guest at his own party, and that showed a lot to his character. I think like that was the first one. I was like, okay, now I kind of understand who this person is, and then somebody who had their money handed to them obviously is a little bit more stuck up and shallow, and you know, I have this money and I didn't even have to do anything for it, so like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, it kind of like quite literally paints to like a spoiled kid and then someone who's worked for everything that they've had. Those are the characters that I see when old wealth and new wealth. What do you think?
Like at the, like when Tom, again back to the first two chapters, Tom was sitting at the dinner and he was speaking to Nick, and he was talking about how we need to keep our money and our values in the white race, and people are going to come try to steal it from us. We need to stay the way we are. We can't let like I guess colored people or people of different ethnicities come in and like take what we have. They're very like stuck in how they are and they don't want to change at all. Like you said, like at whatever you else said, that Tom is very like stuck up, and like with his old money comes like a set of values that I guess he had passed down from his family that he really likes to stick to. He doesn't want to change at all.
I think Tom and Gatsby, the way they treat Nick really reflects how they feel. Like Tom he's very condescending towards Nick, and he kind of looks down upon him, but Gatsby like shows that he has a lot of respect for him and he treats him more as an equal than Tom does.
Anybody else? Well,
I think although Gatsby acquired his money illegally, he still has that American dream work ethic, and he's a respectable character, even though he does